I knew something was wrong the moment she smiled. Not the usual smile, the one she gave strangers, waiters, her reflection. No, this one was rehearsed, too bright, too polished, like she'd been practicing it in the mirror, preparing for an audience. I felt it before I understood it, a pressure at the base of my skull, a quiet tightening behind my ribs. We were sitting at a crowded brunch table with her friends, people she insisted were like family. I always felt like a guest in their world, tolerated, never truly seen. They laughed too loudly, gossiped too freely, and adored any drama that wasn't theirs. She tapped her spoon against her glass, just once, sharp, deliberate. Their chatter died instantly. And then she inhaled, a long breath stretching her chest, lifting her shoulders. I watched the movement the way you watch a fuse burn, knowing exactly what comes next, powerless to stop it. "I've decided," she said. "I'm calling off the marriage." Silence. Then smirks. A stifled giggle. She kept going. "I don't love you anymore." There was a strange ringing in my ears, like the sound you hear underwater. My heartbeat slowed, my hands steadied. Funny how betrayal sharpens you instead of breaking you. I didn't say anything at first. I just studied her, really studied her. The slight tremble in her left hand, the way she wouldn't meet my eyes, the flicker of guilt she tried to bury under bravado. It hit me then. This wasn't spontaneous. This was coordinated, and I was the target. I felt my throat tighten, but not from heartbreak. No, this was recognition. Because 2 nights earlier, she had come home late. Too late. Her hair messy, her perfume louder than usual, as if she'd drowned herself in it to cover something else. She'd gone straight to the shower, didn't kiss me, didn't speak. When she thought I was asleep, I heard her whispering in the bathroom, a hushed voice, urgent, cracking under pressure, not the voice of a woman in control. Another man's voice bleeding through her phone speaker. I remember lying there, staring at the ceiling, feeling my chest hollow out as her whispered confession, soft and panicked, confirmed what I already knew but wasn't ready to accept. Infidelity. Not just once, not just physical, something deeper, a different connection, something she'd been feeding for months while pretending to still love me. But I didn't move, didn't confront, didn't even blink. I simply filed the moment away, storing it like evidence in a quiet room inside my mind. The next morning, she was warm again, overly sweet, overly attentive. That was another sign. People lie differently when they think a decision has already been made. So as she sat across from me at brunch, making a public spectacle out of ending our marriage, I didn't feel shock, not really, just confirmation. She wanted control. She wanted an audience. She wanted sympathy from the very friends who encouraged her recklessness. She thought she was orchestrating the narrative, but she didn't know the truth. I'd already started preparing for this moment long before she announced it, and I wasn't the one who would end up exposed. The investigation began quietly. I didn't storm out of the room. I didn't demand answers. I didn't cry. Instead, I observed. Her phone habits changed. She kept it face down. She guarded it during showers. She panicked when notifications popped up unexpectedly. I noticed the new passwords, the deleted messages, the odd late-night work calls. I mirrored her calmness, pretended nothing had shifted. Meanwhile, I dug. Phone records, IP logs, bank statements showing 2 identical transactions at a boutique hotel, hers and someone else's. A duplicate charge made minutes apart. I didn't need their names printed on a receipt. Patterns tell their own story. Then came the hospital bill, one she forgot to hide. A bill for tests she claimed were routine, but the insurance code didn't lie. Pregnancy screening, except she had told me she didn't want kids. And I knew one simple truth: we hadn't been together in weeks. A cold wave crawled through me, slow and deliberate. False paternity, or an attempt at one. I ordered my own tests, quietly, a fertility check, a DNA sampling kit, backtracking timelines. And then came the detail that sealed everything. A text, a screenshot forwarded to me anonymously from a number I didn't recognize. Don't worry, he's too passive to question anything. When you end it, make it public. That way he won't chase you. He, meaning me. Passive. That made me laugh. Someone out there wanted the truth to surface. Someone who knew more than I did. I didn't respond. I simply archived it, then backed up every relevant file, every screenshot, every date, every detail. Externally, I played my part well, smiled at breakfast, held her hand at dinner, listened to her speak about work stress while noting how often she texted in the bathroom. She was unraveling quietly while thinking she was in control. And I was waiting for evidence to finish writing the story she had started. The results arrived on a Thursday afternoon. An envelope, unassuming, thin, but heavy enough to end a life. Inside, her hospital results, my DNA screening, the final confirmation. The timelines didn't match. The conception window was precise, and I was excluded. I sat in my office with the blinds half closed, the room dim, the faint hum of traffic below. The truth didn't shock me. It clarified me. She came home humming, pretending everything was normal. A subtle brightness, the kind people get when they think they've finally escaped a burden. She found me in the kitchen, sitting calmly at the table. I slid the envelope toward her wordlessly. She opened it. I watched the color drain from her face, watched the mask fall, watched the truth choke her from the inside. Her lips trembled. Her eyes darted, searching for an escape hatch that didn't exist. I can explain," she whispered. I didn't reply. I simply leaned back, studying her the way a surgeon studies a tumor before excision. She broke first. They always do. Her voice cracked, then her knees. She folded into the chair across from me, hands shaking, breath uneven. But I stayed perfectly still, because I already knew, and now she knew that I knew. The silence between us was a battlefield, and she was bleeding out in front of me. Which brings us back to Brunch, her declaration, her audience, her attempt at humiliation. She thought she held all the power. She didn't. When she said, "I'm calling off the marriage," her friends burst into laughter, nudging each other like school children watching a performance. I let them bask in their moment, let the laughter echo, let her think I was stunned into silence. Then I nodded. "Thank you for your honesty." I stood up, calm, controlled, every eye on me. She smirked, victory swelling across her face. Then I reached out and took the ring back from her hand. Not forcefully, not angrily, just removed it, like someone collecting a belonging they had briefly loaned out. Her smirk faltered. I slipped the ring into my pocket and cleared my throat. "If anyone needs me," I said, "I'll be hosting a dodged a disaster party tonight." The table went silent. Her friends stared, unsure whether to laugh. I continued, "You're all welcome. Though I should warn you," I paused, letting the air thicken. "There will be a slideshow." A ripple of confusion. I leaned closer. Featuring hotel receipts, phone logs, and, I tapped the envelope in my jacket, a timeline of a pregnancy that isn't mine. The laughter died instantly. Complete silence. Her fork clattered against her plate. She whispered my name, pleading this time. But I was done offering mercy she hadn't earned. I stepped back from the table, watching her crumble under the truth she thought she controlled. I didn't yell, didn't insult, didn't threaten. I just walked out, calm, whole, and finally free. I didn't look back as I left the cafe. People rarely do when stepping out of a burning building. The air outside felt colder, cleaner, my mind sharper, my heartbeat steady. It's strange, the moment clarity replaces pain. You don't feel triumphant, you don't feel vindicated, you just feel nothing. A quiet, empty space where love used to be. That emptiness becomes freedom. I walked 3 blocks before from messages started. Apologies, excuses, promises, threats wrapped in desperation. I muted her. Not blocked, muted. Blocking is emotional. Muting is strategic. The truth had done its work. I didn't need revenge beyond that brunch table. She would carry the weight of that moment far longer than I ever carried her betrayal. And as I reached my car, I realized something simple, something cold, something final. She hadn't broken me. She had revealed me. And the man who walked away from that table wasn't the man she thought she could destroy. I closed the car door quietly. No anger, just clarity. Some losses aren't losses at all. They're exits. And she never realized she was the one being left.